Finally, the day came and I was released from prison. My mom, my dad, my little sister, my older sister came and picked me up. Everybody's hugging me and I thought I was gonna cry, but I didn't. I was just so happy to be out that I didn't cry. We stopped at a restaurant and we ordered breakfast. So I ordered steak and eggs. So they're giving everybody their plates of, breakfast. And the waitress started walking away when I noticed a steak knife on my plate. And I said, "Excuse me, miss, you left this over here." And my family's looking at me like I'm crazy, but I'm not used to a big steak knife just being right there next to me. And they were like, "You need that to eat." And I was like, "Oh, wow." And my mother called my little brother who lives in Texas on the cell phone and said, "Here, your brother." And when my brother got on the line, he said, "Hey, Augie, how are you?" And that's when all the tears came. I mean, they came so much. I couldn't stop. I had to go into the restroom and just sit on the floor and let, all the tears come out because I was like, wow, I'm home. I'm free.
Hi, Liz.
Hey, Becca.
Are these almost ready?
Yeah, you're right on time. You go.
So who are you with again? The John Jay student volunteers.
Oh, right, great.
There's a couple of them already gone over. There's a couple of our students already gone over. So I just wanted to remind you again that, you guys in going over, you're representing John Jay, you're representing the Office of Community Outreach. And I really believe this is a really good opportunity for you guys to get like a real insider view of what the Center for Coordinated Innovation really does. You're going to meet the judge, you're going to meet some of the administrators there, but most importantly, you're going to meet August, who is actually, he really exemplifies what can happen at the Center for Coordinated Innovation.
So I hear he's doing really well.
Yeah, he's working at the New York City Justice Corps and facilitating groups for at-risk youth.
That's wonderful.
He's been getting a lot of good feedback from his supervisors and really thriving there.
You can make a bad decision and pay for it. But when you get a second chance, don't give up. Don't allow your past to dictate who you are today. I was in prison from 1990 until September of 2008. I'm just getting over being institutionalized in prison. You want everyone to respect you. You don't allow no one to raise their voice at you because it'll be a sign of disrespect or weakness. I've learned to understand that this is not a prison yard. Someone is able to walk behind me. Someone is able to, speak loud if they want to. This program that they have, Times Square Inc. out of Midtown Community Court, has helped me tremendously. In fact, I really feel that it was beyond help. They actually were like a savior. For someone like myself, coming home and not knowing anything that's going on in this society, being very antisocial, that program, since it deals with other people, you're like thrown right into a mix to socialize. And it helped me fall back into society.
Welcome to the Midtown Community Court. I'm delighted to see you all here. This I describe as the best court in the world. And the question becomes, why do I call it the best court in the world? It was a court that was established in 1993 as a joint venture between the court system and the Center for Court Innovation, CCI. It was started as what I like to call a noble experiment. This was a lost area. This was a no man's land. It was a radical change to have a community court, which was a problem-solving court.
When I came out and I found out that this program was based out of a court, and listening to the judge, being sincere about believing and giving someone a second chance, I found it amazing, because I've always figured every judge to be, brutal, heavy-handed. I find that it's a valuable resource because at the end of the day, when someone like myself comes home from prison after doing several amount of years, if we don't receive any kind of skills, if we don't receive any kind of training, to help us re-enter society, where does it leave us? Where does it really leave us? It'll leave us only with knowing what we do know how to do. And what we do know how to do is the bad stuff. So this program, I know for myself, has kept at least one person in this society from committing future crimes, from creating another victim.
The big problem you have is the reentry problem. The reentry problem deals with people coming back and back and back over and over again. Because you're not teaching them values or cultures, you have to do something. It's counseling, it's services, it's programs. And because of that, the recidivism problem is addressed, and it's much better. So we cut against the culture of recidivism, we cut against the culture of delinquency, we cut against the culture of negative personal behavior, which is destructive to the community.
How is everybody today? So I want to start by thanking all of you for participating in our mock interviewing sessions. It's very important for our participants to meet and speak with all of you.
Many people who come through the court are unemployed. And in order to address that need, we've created a job training program called the Times Square Inc. program. And this program works with individuals who have been entangled in the criminal justice system to teach them the skills that they need to succeed in life.
Have any of you interviewed for a job before? I'm sure you have, right? I see a show of hands, right? And who found that easy? Anybody? It's difficult, right? It's difficult to be confident and to be yourself when you're meeting somebody new and trying to sell your skills and your experience as making you qualified for a given position. So you can imagine that if you have a conviction or you've made another mistake in your life or maybe you don't have as much work experience as you'd like, this could be even more difficult.
Thank you for having me. You have a nice day.
It starts all with the handshake, eye contact, that part of communication, walking up to a potential employer and, having your back straight, looking them in the eye, shaking their hand, correctly, because if you mess that up right there, you might be done with your interview before it even begins. And they were able to teach me these small little things that I needed desperately to know. As I was saying in the beginning, I didn't know how to use a computer. I didn't know what an icon was, a toolbar was. And I was given the chance here at Midtown to learn how to use a computer. And I'm pretty sure everybody would agree that knowing how to use a computer in today's time means a whole lot. TSI is a program that's about 6 weeks. And I was in the program for about 6 months when I started feeling that I no longer wanted to be here. I started planting seeds of doubt in my own head, like, why are you even bothering? Who's gonna hire you anyway? And I made a decision to stop coming. And the staff members here didn't let that happen. Linda Steele, who I consider my mentor, kept calling me and emailing me and telling me to come back. I had not came for a few days. And I chose to come back. And I came back. And shortly after coming back, they asked me to represent TSI in a job training program. And I did that. And in the process of doing that, I was able to meet a lot of people. One of the individuals I met was impressed, and they set up somewhat of an interview. And it consisted of me going over and showing them what I would do like in 10 minutes for free. Show them what I was bringing to the table. I was in a classroom setting with 35 young adults, ages varying from 18 to 24. And I went in and I did a workshop, and the workshop that I did was 9 to 5 versus fast money. Why would I go work at McDonald's when I'm making $1,500 a week selling crack? Even though $1,500 a week is a lot of money, there's consequences behind it. And the consequences behind it is that when you're making $1,500 a week, the police aren't the only ones watching. There's stick-up kids out there watching you. Sometimes your best friend is watching you because he's not making that money. And in the drug game, there's no friends. I did this, and it led to me getting my first job after coming home. It's amazing the work that I'm able to do with these kids, because not only am I working with them and generating a paycheck, but I'm also giving back to a community that I once took from. And it's been a blessing, because I'm beginning to actually put my life back together. And one thing that I can't wait to share with you guys is this, that you know, I'm about to be a dad. I'm about to be a father. My girlfriend is 5 months pregnant, and this is something I've wanted my whole life. And you know, I know it's gonna be a little boy, because we know already, we did the test. And so I'm looking forward to that so much. Little Jeter's coming into the world. And the bottom line is, without this program being available to me, I know for a fact, you know, I would have been back in prison. I would have been back in prison probably within a few months. You know, not only did this program teach me the things that I needed to learn, it gave me hope. It showed me that there's people that care. And what I've been accustomed to is negativity, people that don't care, you know, just abuse, you know, alcohols and drugs. That was my life. So to come home and actually see someone that really cares, that wants you to succeed, you know, that motivates you, that talks to you respectfully, you know, was something new to me. You know, I'm glad that I'm able now to be a son to my parents, a brother to my siblings, an uncle to my nephews and niece. You know, I'm able to be a neighbor. I'm able to be someone, you know, that I could earn the respect and trust from my peers, my colleagues, my bosses. And it's not a respect that I'm earning because you're afraid of me, you know, because I'm running with a gang, you know, a pack. You know, I'm able to get trust and respect because I earned it. I'm beginning to prove, you know, that I'm August. You know, I'm not that same person I was many, many years ago when I was 17. I'm just happy for being August.
My first thing is to say I can't do it, but this program said that I can, and I did. And I've developed a lot of good skills here, and I feel like I'm ready. And that I'm going to continue to try and work hard and to achieve my goals. And I'm going to do that with the help of this program. I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Jason.
This is a good class, you know, you just keep coming and you'll get somewhere. I know I'll get somewhere with the help of Linda and Bo. And let's keep trying. Thank you.
I want to especially thank Bo and Linda for bringing out things in me that, you know, I didn't even know I had. And I just want to say thanks to everybody.
Thank you.
When I needed somebody to listen to me, they were always there to listen to me when I needed help, because I was going through a lot of things with my kids and then job searching and going to school. It's very hard, but as long as you stick to it, you keep up with it, it's going to come out eventually good for you. So I thank everybody.
And just for me, this was one of my favorites. I'm a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more of it I have.
I think that service learning is very important for people from all walks of life, because I think people get, you know, life isn't easy and everybody has to overcome some kind of obstacle at one point or another. And I think that people sometimes get too wrapped up in their own issues. There's actually a book that I read in grammar school, actually, in 8th grade, but I'll always remember it, and it was called Walk Two Moons. And it says, what the book was mainly about was, you can't judge somebody unless you've walked in their shoes, which is why I think that service learning is important, because if we're constantly put in different situations and helping people in different kinds of environments, then we'll be more open to those things. We'll never fully understand them because
We won't experience the exact same thing that that person experienced, but we can be more apt to understand them and more empathetic of them.
It's completely different when you're dealing with people face to face, and it's completely different than reading from a book and actually experiencing that feeling. It stands out so much more in your mind. It's something that you remember for a lifetime. It's not something that comes into your head and by the next exam, you've forgotten that already. I will never forget this year. It's been the greatest year. This was my first year at John Jay College, and I was accepted. I met so many people. I got to work in conjunction with so many other great people, and it's just something that will stick in my mind forever. And I'm so glad that I made this decision, and I would hope that anybody else who has the opportunity would decide to do the same. I am interning at Center for Employment Opportunities, and I'm working with probationers and parolees. And I really don't feel like there's a distance between me and those people. I feel like we're the same, because I know I've been through struggles and I know that they've been through struggles, and they may be a little bit different, but at the end of the day, we're both human, you know, we're all human and we all make mistakes. And if they're willing to take that step, then I'm willing to help them with that. Volunteering is amazing, because I feel like when you're doing something out of the kindness of your heart, and when you're doing something because you know that you really want to do it and you know that someone really needs your help, it's such a different experience than if you're doing something because someone's making you do it, or if you're doing something because you're getting paid for it. To do it because you know that someone needs it makes me feel 10 times better, and it makes that person feel 10 times better, because they know I'm here because I want to be here. And volunteering has allowed me to meet so many people, not only at Midtown Community Court, you know, but professors at the school and many other people in the school. I have so many references now, and people that I'm affiliated with that would speak on my behalf and tell the good things that I've been doing, as well as meet so many people that I want to reach and that I want to help. So I've had the chance to meet an array of different people, and it just makes me feel great. Like I really feel like I've boosted my confidence by helping someone else. Even if I only helped one person, I know that I made a difference.